Hello and welcome to Miniature Fun Made Easy. Today I'm going to show you how you can make this really cute little chest, and what I like about this is it's made from real wood, and I think a lot of us when we're making miniatures we like to keep them as true as possible. So we'll begin by using some of these sticks, and I decided to make the chest 6 centimeters in width. And it's really important to try and keep these as square as possible. We'll make 11 of these. 3 of them will be used for one side, 3 for the other side, and 5 will be for the lid. So with the lid we need to, because we're going to make it round, we need to shave off a little bit of the sides, sort of approximately 45-degree angle on both of these sides. When you put them together, that's how you'll get the rounded effect. I'm going to make the depth 4 centimeters, and we will need 6 of these, and then you basically just put the sides and the back together, and you'll end up with a little box looking like this, which is kind of cute in itself. You can use it for a grocery box or making any kind of box in your miniature. Now we're beginning to add the lid, and as you can see, this is where that angle will be really important. So we just start to add those as we go around, and you will end up with a very nice looking lid, something like this. Then what we need to do is we need to fill in this hole here, obviously, and the easiest way to do that, to get the correct shape, because it can always be a little bit different, is just by putting on a piece of paper and taking that shape, and then we cut out this little piece of paper and add it onto, I put a couple of pieces of the same wood glued together, and we take just go around that and we'll cut that out. And now you'll see that hopefully that will fit exactly in, and it does. So happy about that. And there you have it. And then of course I did the other side, and so you now have the beginning of the chest. It's important to sand it down at this time, really, just because it can be a little bit rough, so it's a good idea to do that. Now we're going to do something that seems strange. We're going to cut it in half. Not quite half, but anyway, we're going to cut the lid off that we've just made, and the reason for this is that way they will fit absolutely perfectly together. If you try and make a top and a bottom and then fit them, that's very difficult, but in this way obviously it will fit perfectly. And there you have it. The lid is very nice and fits well with the bottom, as it should. Now we're going to do the same as we did for the inserted piece. We'll just do the same for the bottom, because again that can be slightly different than an exact square, for example. So just again do the same thing, and you'll see there that also fits perfectly. So now we have the beginning of the box. Now we're going to start with the first coat of paint, and I'm just using some dark brown acrylic paint and some water. And the reason I use water is because I want to be able to see the paint, see the wood I mean. And so here you are, you see it's finished with the painting. Once you've done that, let it dry obviously, and then I would sand it down again. If you want to keep it just as a natural old looking chest, this is actually looking good for that kind of a thing. You could just use that. I like to make mine a little bit more modern, so I'm going to be painting it again. Might need a couple of coats, but it will look really nice and you'll still be able to see the wood. Then I'm going to add sort of a lock for the front and some handles for the side, and these are just actually things that I had at home. You could really use anything that you want that you think looks like a handle and a lock. I actually got the idea for this miniature chest from a full-size chest that I made a couple of years ago to keep wood in at home. And this is what that one looked like. So now we're going to make the leather straps. And here I'm using just a piece of slightly thicker paper than normal paper, and I painted it with kind of a brown reddish color to imitate a strap color. And once you've done that, you just take your box, and I always like to begin on the very top there, and you just fold it around and then glue it down, and just carry on like that throughout the rest of the box. And there you have, all the straps are now attached. As a sort of a fail-safe, I made just a little bit of a note there on the front of each of the half boxes so that I would remember which one goes on to which one, because obviously they can be different from back to front. So just a little tip of the day there. So now we're finished with the lock and the handles. And in a minute I'll be using some nails from this acrylic paint, but this is actually also a smaller miniature that I made for a smaller miniature house, and as you can see, you can make them in any size. So I take some gold acrylic paint, and this special pen or paintbrush is really, but it's not a brush, but it has a rounded tip at the end, which is really cool. So you can make small dots basically around the miniature. And there we are with all the nails on the straps, and I think that looks kind of cool. Now we're going to Mod Podge it. I'm not quite sure if you can say that, but we're going to use Mod Podge, which will glue it more firmly and also will give it a shine. So we'll put that all over it, and I normally leave that for about 24 hours. Once the box is completely dry, I will add these small hinges, which I will glue on, and also just add pretend nails onto them so that they don't show the wood. And there you have it. And there you have the final chest, which I think I hope you'd be happy with if you made something like that. And here's a picture in a slightly different light where you can see it's actually darker than it showed on the previous picture. And here's with some jewellery in it. Obviously you don't have to put jewellery in it, but stay around for the bloopers. And I'm going to make these 4 centimeters in width, depth. And what you'll need now is some strips of paper. You just cut them down and then pull it off. Okay, that might need a little bit of help to come off. Just pull the, come on. Once you've made those strips, you'll just put them around the top and then glue them on, as you can see I'm doing here. And what on earth? Something's happening at the back of this box. What is that? Oh my gosh. The bottom's just fallen out. Oh my gosh. And now I'm going to glue on these hinges, and oops, whoopsie daisy.